They bill themselves as fearless adversarial journalists that exposes corruption and injustice, but the website The Intercept may have inadvertently outed one of its own sources this week. This week, The Intercept published a top-secret NSA document indicating Russian hackers attacked a U.S. software supplier shortly before last year's presidential election. Standard fare for an organization founded on the belief that NSA leaker Edward Snowden is a hero.
If not for these revelations, we would be worse off.
But after receiving this latest leak, The Intercept made a curious move, showing the document to the NSA, which was quickly able to determine where the leak came from and who was behind it. 25-year-old Reality Lee Winner, a government contract worker.
Winner now facing charges after authorities say she removed classified material from a government building and mailed it to online news outlet The Intercept.
Winner is currently being held without bail. The Intercept, meanwhile, issued a statement saying, well, not much at all, never explaining how they handled the documents, only saying that the government's allegations are unproven.
Prosecutors say Winner admitted to the leak.
Meanwhile, other news organizations, including the New York Times, have established secure channels for leaks and tips, which could be a tip to The Intercept. I mean, I understand that they were trying to verify the material. You get a document like that, you don't know who it came from. It was anonymous, and it looks real. They're trying to verify what they have, and I guess it's natural to contact the NSA, but there's a way to do it so you're not handing over an original, you copy half of it or you redact parts of it, because I don't know that much about computer coding, but you can trace it right back to whoever sent the thing. So that's what happened.
It's worth, I think, going through the crazy way that they were able to trace it back, or the not-so-crazy way. As I understand it, a reporter apparently from The Intercept, that we don't know this for sure, showed this to the NSA, someone at the NSA, to try to check on its veracity. They saw markings which indicated it had been printed out. They were able to go back and say, okay, there were 6 people who worked for us who printed this out. Let's check on the 6 of them. Let's look at their work computers. Reality Winner emailed The Intercept from her work computer.
Yikes.
Aha, there you go. A lack of, what's the right term?
Sophistication.
Spycraft, sophistication. Got the impression that Edward Snowden was living in a movie about spies. He did everything right, just perfectly. Yeah. And she did the opposite.
Yeah. Apparently she's done it before, too.
You really have to be careful about that. And I thought, certainly not at anything at this level, but as a local reporter, when you're getting information from police officers or others, that's one of my biggest worries, that there's going to be something in a document that someone will be able to point to and say, we know where this came from. Mm-hmm. And so this notion, and again, we don't know exactly what happened, but it's our understanding that, in fact, they did present them with the document. And so you would take that information, rewrite it, or at least read it to them, but never hand over the document itself. I think when something like this happens, what often, and you're hearing some discussion about this, is that there's this sense that maybe this could create have this chilling effect, right? Where there are people out there, based on the knowledge that we all have, that you can find things with a crease of paper or whatever it may be, that they may be more hesitant to leak information, and a lot of good information that needs to get out there may not.
That's what the administration wants.
True, exactly.
There's a lot that we don't know, and anything we say now may look wrong in a week or two, but based on what we know now, The Intercept built its reputation on knowing how to handle this stuff. They're one of a number of news organizations that use a technology called Secure Drop, so that you can deposit documents without anybody knowing where it came from.
But she nailed it.
She nailed it, so, you start with that. But I would think that sophisticated, experienced investigative journalists would know that if you're going to try to verify this, you read them what it says. You don't show them the actual document. The part that I just loved about this, if it's true, is that apparently a pattern of yellow ink that's left behind gives you the serial number, when it was printed, and that was reportedly that may have been the giveaway.
Watermarks or something.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody's watched any of these movies, No Way Out, or the other one with Will Smith, hello, they know how to do a lot of stuff.
But that was Hollywood.
Yeah. I mean, you got to know. If they put that in the movie, what else do they know? So, of course, you mail it. She thought she was sending it through the mail, and so therefore she would have some protection. But as I understand it, Dan, they do have people on staff who know how to handle this material, but those reporters, for some reason, were not involved in parsing this. Why, I do not know. So that's the first thing. The second thing is really about the chilling effect, which I do think is really important right in this day and time when there is a lot of, well, shall we say, dispensing of information that people have on hand because they want journalists to know what's exactly going on. So this is really, I think, something to pay attention to and makes me nervous because it's incumbent upon us, if we're going to take information from people and you know it's problematic for them, you have got to protect them. You have got to. I just saw Bob Woodward this morning. I mean, the original Deep Throat guy talking about the lengths they went through to make sure that they protected Deep Throat because of this very thing.
You know, it's interesting because her parents, Reality's parents, said that she had been vilified and maligned in the media. I didn't see that. I mean, who vilified and maligned her? I mean, the government maybe, but certainly not.
Well, it could have been local. I don't know what happened locally.
In terms of protecting sources, I think there's a big difference between Snowden and her in that Snowden managed the release of his own information, right? He was an active partner with the journalists who got that out there. The Intercept has said they didn't know that this info came from her, so she wasn't working to sort of control the way it was disseminated. There's also a caveat we've got to append to all these stories. So she has been charged under the Espionage Act. The previous president, President Obama, set the record when it comes to prosecutions of leakers under the Espionage Act more than more than all other administrations combined. I'm not sure how far President Trump has to go to get there, but he has a long ways to go.
Well, I'm just going to say, if you're the first one out there, he's making an example of you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Should be there a while.
Yeah.